Bloons TD6 is a 3D top-down game, but what if we could break those barriers and explore this game like we've never seen before? Will we find hidden secrets that'll change the way that we see and play Bloons TD6? Or will we just find ourselves in an empty void that we wish we never saw? Let's dive in and see what we can find. The first map I want to take a look at is Town Center. I want to see if Town Center has something hidden in these houses or around the houses or just anything of the sort. Now it looks like they're fully modeled from behind as well, which is actually awesome. Sometimes you think when you dive in that you're just going to find like a 2D stick-built house, but no, this thing actually is fully 3D modeled, which is awesome. Although we do have floating trees here. Let's take a look underneath the houses, see if we see anything unique. So we can no longer see the track or the green on the track, but we can see still all of the houses, the tops of the trees. Nothing crazy there, but I want to see where the balloons actually come from, because I've wondered with the sniper, sometimes he's firing before they even get there, but it looks like it poofed on pretty, right at the start. It's not coming from the back end or anything. Let's see where they go to. So it looks like it's going to all the way to the end, but it's not actually the end. So as you can see, the map ends there on our normal screen, but there's clearly a few extra lengths of track that are still there, and the DDTs start on the back of the track, but something like a balloon is actually going to start a little closer up, so it's like an instant thing. But I guess because the balloons have longer to travel, that makes sense. So now the big bad's going to start even farther back because he's bigger and you don't want to see him till a couple seconds after you click it. I want to check out a map that has removable objects and see what happens to those removable objects that actually have to move. For instance, these cars right here. So here's the normal view of what we see on Quiet Street. And when I remove this car, it's going to circle around and go up to the top. But where is that thing going? Actually right there. See, because the spikes indicate where the end of the track is for us, a regular viewer, and then there's where it's actually ending up. So what happens if we remove all of them? They just take turns parking right off. Okay, they park not nicely. I was going to say they're parked nicely next to each other, but they just rammed right into each other. Okay, so they all just kind of pile in right there. But what's cool is their lights stay on. They stay fully modeled and everything. They don't just disappear. They go to the end of the track. Now, I know nothing about game develop or anything like that, but I wonder why they don't just disappear. Why do they just sit on the track? I wonder if that's easier or if that's just a cool little feature to have for people like me exploring the game further than I should be. And I'm curious as to why only certain things stay visible when you're underneath the track. For instance, we have the snow, or no, that's the pond, huh? We have the pond, the trees, and the houses, but there's nothing in these houses, unfortunately. We cannot dive deeper into the house. I want to see what kind of furniture the balloons use. Do they rock the IKEA? So what happens if we remove one of these ponds? Is it still visible from underneath? It is. It's just like, oh, so the thing just goes inside. Okay. Do we see that on this side? Does it fall in? So let's remove it. Oh, okay, it does just fall in. And there it is right there. And then the ice is underneath it too. So the ice just kind of breaks and falls and it doesn't disappear either. This map will be a good one for sure. Let's see where our normal view is. We have it right there. We can see a little bit of this truck and a good amount of this truck. What happens when we remove them? Oh, the map actually goes pretty farther up. That's kind of cool. When we get to round 40, this truck's gonna leave. Where is it going? Oh, just right there. Okay. That's pretty funny. And this truck's just going to stay there indefinitely, I'm assuming. But what happens when we go underneath it? So we actually do see the flowing river underneath. That is so cool. So my question is, since there's that hidden dinosaur on this game, the fossils, are they already there? It looks like the answer to that is no. Let's remove one of the fossils and see what we uncover. And if we click it, we get the skull here. And from behind, let's see what we got. You can't see it. So it's on the surface of this little area here, I'm guessing, because it is not hidden. I thought for sure we'd be able to see inside of it and see all the other hidden ones as well, but we cannot. We got the Haunted Mansion. This one for sure has to have some secrets. It's a newer map. It has a lot of stuff. Oh, that's so cool. Look at. You don't see these. You don't see these little things there. They're hidden. So there's already some secrets they left in there for us. So we're missing one picture here and then another picture there, which is pretty awesome. And then how do the balloons come out? Let's see here. So they do come from somewhere. Look, they're coming like farther down. That's pretty crazy. Let's check out the balloons. Okay. And then when they leave, they're actually just leaving. Let's go underneath to see where they're going. So there's the portals. There's DDT coming through. Where's he going? Apparently nowhere. He disappears. But here's the complete under of this map. And I don't know why I'm tilting my head. I feel like I can see it better if I tilt my head. We got the armor, the fire, and the books, the messy books, but nothing else. I'm still curious as to why some things show up and others don't. Like, why would the base of the table not be visible underneath, but the papers on top are? Those of you familiar with coding and developing, let me know below, because that's very curious to me. And you can see the remnants of like the Monkish language that put the fire up, but you don't see the actual symbols themselves. Dark Castle has to have some secrets because this drawbridge door, where does it lead to? So automatically, look how much of the castle is actually visible. That is different for sure, because all we see is this. This is our normal view. And then we got like 3/4 of it back here. That is insane. Oh, but there's our trickery. It's not actually fully formed. It's just the top of it. And then a little bit of the walls that we can see. And I find this on a lot of the maps too. They're curved to give us that, like, I guess 3D effect. Again, not very good with design and development, but if we go like this to normal, they do not look tilted to us at all. But look how wonky those things are looking at them straight on. That is crazy. And look how far off the trees are from everything. So I'd imagine like a 3D printer to make a 3D model, you build layers up, right? So what's this in between layer? Is it just this mod having trouble seeing it all? Or is that how this map actually looks, to where we have the map down here, but the trees are all the way up in space? But look at behind the castle. There ain't nothing in there. So where do the balloons go? That's my question. Let's throw a DDT and see what happens. Kind of nowhere. Let's try that one again. But we'll just come up from a top view, because it kind of throws it out of whack when you go a little too crazy. So he's just disappearing. No, he just goes away. He just leaves. Where's he coming from? Okay, the back. That makes sense. He just disappeared. So what happens when we remove a tree? Oh, it just goes away. Okay, simple as that. It actually does disappear. It doesn't fall over or stay on the track or nothing like that. Then of course we have to check out the new Dark Dungeon. Since it's inside of Dark Castle, at least that's what the lore would have us believe. Is there any secrets on this map? Let's start off with the main view, and it's right here. Let's back it up a little bit, and it doesn't look, what's going on over there? Oh, those are spikes. So we do have some of our spikes on the left for the Moab on 40, since it is an exit. Oh, wow. That is something I did not know. So there's actually 4 exits, which we knew there was 4 exits. I just assumed that the game would know that, like, you're not going to need your spikes on round 40. Well, now I know that I have them. Maybe I can beat Impoppable. Let's check underneath the map. What's this little glowing thing here? Oh, that's the pool? Well, that's odd. What's going on with it? It just turns into one little creature thing over here. You can actually see the spikes. Both spikes are visible from underneath. And then once we hit that button, I wonder if they go away. So there they are underneath. Oh, they're still underneath. Okay. They just pop up. So what happens if we activate the statue? Is that going to do anything different? Let's see what it looks like from underneath. So that thing is completely visible, whether it's on top or the bottom. So that would mean if we're looking at this and whoa, I think I sped up way too quick. If we're looking at this in something in terms of like layers on top of each other, this thing would be on the very top, right? Because it's has like the full superiority over all the other layers in this little model. I know why it's sped up. The same reason you keep seeing monkeys pop up on the screen. The controls are WASD, space, and control. And space obviously slows down our game and speeds it up, as well as making the map go up. Very cool with this map though. I like that. Here's what I think is going to be super interesting. Flooded Valley. When we flood it, what's going to happen? Is it going to be crazy? So there's... Okay, so we have a lot of water that's not visible. I wonder why they take it so far. Same with the rocks on the left side, right? This is where ours in on the big rocks, but then there's those little ones too. That's really cool. I wonder if it's just for like flooding purposes, as far as like maybe it changes depending on what platform you're playing on, like mobile or PC, or maybe they just go a little farther for bleed out, because that's what you kind of do in advertising sometimes. You have to make your ad a little bit bigger than the post you're gonna be putting it on, so in case there's some errors. But again, look how crooked or bent over. It's like the Leaning Tower of Flooded Valley, because this thing is knocked over for us to see it as a 3D model. That is really crazy. But then some things aren't. Like, why aren't the rocks falling over sideways, but the Flooded Valley is? But just look how good everything looks. Even though they know it's off screen, they still put the texture in the water. It's not just a blue little pool over here. Same with the grass and the rocks on this side. I love the detail they put into this stuff. Let's see what happens when we flood that valley. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here and right here. Now let's back it up. Back it up. What happens? There it is. I knew there'd be something silly about this. So the water, it would then just be a layer on top, right? So we still have the bottom part. No problems there. But now my question would be, what happens to a tower when we flood the valley? Let's do that. So we're going to place, a little wizard right here, and then we'll put a super as well, just because it's bigger. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what happens when we flood it? Let's go from this angle here. Okay. It won't recognize the clicking now that I did that. It will only let you click this from the side angle. Like, that's the only place it registers it. So we're just going to go like this and then remove it and see what happens to our towers here. And they just disappear. That's all there is to it. They don't go off screen. They're not hidden in the bottom. I thought they'd be like kind of buried, like they're fossilized or something. They just disappear. I found something interesting on middle of the road as well. Earlier on Town Center, we saw that all of the houses were like fully 3D modeled, at least on the outsides, right? On here, no. They didn't put the backs in and then you see right through them. So they only built up the fronts. But what I'm thinking is, why do you see through on this side, but not on this side? How does that work? That seems pretty wicked. And here's the underneath. There's a lot of left outs there. That is different. They probably thought like, why are we building these things fully up when we don't need to? Then I'm wondering, why did they build up the 3D model? Why did they build up the entire town center anyway to begin with? Because you don't need to. We're never going to see it unless someone like me comes in, you know, exposes it, I guess. But I want to see where we start off with this map. We have a little bit of the truck showing, and we have about this much room between the water thing, and none of this is really showing at all. Just a little clip of it, and then look how much of it's there. Really different, huh? And I think I figured it out. Well, no, I was gonna say the reason why the maps extend so far with detail is because of the big bad and stuff, but he's still off the screen anyway. He's completely off the screen, and something like a Moab seems to be like right on the money, like right where it would end. And DDT just don't care. They just do whatever they want. From this angle, though, this is just weird. Imagine looking up and seeing a whale balloon flying above you. I think there's going to be a map with train tracks. Like, there's going to be a train-based map to go along with this. I love how they put all the themes and maps together to give us some really cool stuff. Now, we got to see Infernal. Here's what we can see. Keep the spikes as your little references, and we can actually go a lot farther. What? That's not mirrored either, huh? Because it is different on both of them. I'm trying to see if like these are the same. They're not even in the same pattern, these leaves. So they just have, why is that? Why do they go all the way out? Is that where the Moabs start then? Let's see. No, they come in from the top corner. So that's very odd. Even the bad too? So what are these there for? And I'm talking about this side right here. Like, it just doesn't make any sense what they'd even be there for. Let's check underneath and see if anything, oh wow. That's what this looks like? This one's actually dark and dreary. I really like it. Kind of reminds me of the old Pokemon episode where they fight on Cinnabar Island and Magmar comes out of the lava. That's what I feel like anyway. Let's dive in the lava. Let's go swimming. I can't even get there. Yeah, this is a top-down view as I can get it. I'm trying to just aim it right there. Okay. Let's do it. No, it doesn't. But that's the end of the lava. This is so creepy. Now it looks like I'm playing a shooter game. Why are the tracks moving? Oh my goodness. Now from the side, they actually do have some depth on these things. And I'm just wondering why. I would love to know more about development and what goes on in the brains of the creators, because we don't see that, right? We don't see any of the depth on these things. No, so they don't need, I guess this, actually, you're right though. Talking to myself, but I'm right, because if you look at this one, that little tip there, you can kind of see it, and that's the tip there. So it does have to be long distance down. Otherwise, these would not look good. Last but not least, let's take a look at Geared here. Geared is one of the maps that I despise the most. I just don't like it, and it's very difficult, and it makes no sense. And here's the reason why. There's just too many moving parts. And what's going on with this? Why is it so long on the side? Does it start from back there? No, it starts way in the front. Does it go off the map? No, they're not even starting from back there. So what is the point of that super long map? And it's like someone going, I don't know. And if you want to see even more Bloons popping action, check out this video where we find out just how good this tower actually is.